Did you ever struggle with understanding arterial blood gases during nursing school and now you're studying for the NCLEX and you have no idea on how you did it before? Well, let me run you through a very basic interpretation of arterial blood gases. Now, before we start, here is a quick NCLEX tip for you. So when NCLEX asks you what is the best way to assess ventilation and oxygenation, the answer is going to be through an arterial blood gas. All right, so save this video, share it with your friends, comment if you have any questions, and follow for tomorrow where we do an NCLEX question of the day on ABGs. All right, so let's run through the basics. So these top three values are the ones that you're going to be seeing on NCLEX: your pH, your PaCO2, and your HCO3. So let's start off with pH. Our normal range is 7.35 to 7.45. If we are below 7.35, then we are considered acidotic. And if we are above 7.45, we are considered alkalotic, okay? This is important because this is the first value that you want to determine, is it low, high, or within normal range. So now let's look at our PaCO2. So an easy way to remember the normal range is if you drop your 7s from your pH, then you have 35 to 45. Now, what does our PaCO2 represent? It represents our respiratory system. And lastly, we have our HCO3, which is our bicarb. The normal range is 22 to 26. That's just a number you're going to have to remember. And this is representative of our metabolic system. All right, PO2, I always put it down here just for reference. Remember, this is oxygen, so normal range is 80 to 100. Now, let's take these three components and put them to work with our acronym ROME. So R stands for respiratory. O is opposite, M is metabolic, and E is equal, okay? Now, what is it opposite and equal to? The pH, okay? So first thing you're always going to do when you're interpreting an ABG is look at your pH first. So if my pH is low, in order for it to be respiratory acidosis, I need to have a high PaCO2 because they have an inverse or opposite relationship. And if my pH is high, in order for it to be a respiratory alkalosis, I need to have a low PaCO2. Now let's look at metabolic. Metabolic. So this is an equal relationship. So if I have a low, what's going on here? So if I have a low pH, I'm going to have an equal HCO3, and that's going to give me metabolic acidosis. And if I have a high pH, then we need it to be equal. So then I'll have a high HCO3, and that'll be metabolic alkalosis. So let's look at our example down here. Now, like I've said plenty of times in this video, the first thing you're going to do is check if your pH is acidotic, normal, or alkalotic. So if my pH is 7.25, I have a low pH. So I know that I'm in acidosis. If it's metabolic or respiratory, I'm not sure yet. Let's find out. So my PaCO2 is 48. My normal range is 35 to 45, so I know that that's high. And my HCO3 is 24. My normal range is 22 to 26. That is within normal range. And these are opposite, so then I know I'm in respiratory acidosis. All right, I hope you learned something today. Follow for more.